What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fight Pit WWE here at House Call Sports. My name is Sammy HT. I'm right here with Justin. And today we're going to be going over the very polarizing PLE that is Bad Blood. Raw's move to 2 hours. And finally, The Rock has come back. He made his return at Bad Blood. We're going to be talking about that. But before we get into anything, let's go right into our sponsor. You already know who it is. It's Vivid Seats. It's the most trustworthy and easy to navigate ticketing website. They have reliable and rewarding tickets with a 100% buyer's guarantee, which means your transaction is going to be safe and secure. You will get full service customer care and be compensated for any canceled event. And it's got the only ticket rewards program around, and all that means is that the NFL season is hot, the MLB postseason is hot, the NBA season is starting. We're in the golden age right now, golden season of sports. Everything's starting to kick into high gear. Thank the Lord. NHL, whatever you want to go, hit the link in the description, choose Vivid Seats, and go sit vividly. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start, I want to offer my prayers over to the people over in Tampa, Florida. They're about to get a huge Hurricane Milton. It's going to reach landfall tonight Thursday at 2 o'clock a.m. I live in Miami, thank God, so the hurricane's not going to hit me. We are going to experience a bit of rain, some winds, but it's not going to hit us, thank God. So no shutters, no extra work or anything like that. However, please keep Hurricane Milton, and let's hope that the Lord has mercy over these people and that no lives are lost, man.
Yeah, because I got family over in the Tampa Bay, Clearwater area, so I've been checking up on them. They seem to be doing okay right now. My dad's making jokes, but he's down in South Florida too. He's in Davie, and he's like, "Oh, you want to send me a raft?" I'm like, "Really, Pop?" So hopefully, knock on wood, everything goes okay up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how bad this hurricane. They're saying that this is one of the craziest hurricanes that they've ever seen. So let's hope that it's not too bad. Now, Bad Blood. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. A very polarizing PLE, to say the least. A lot to like, a lot to dislike. But we're gonna go ahead and start with the good, because there was a match in this PLE that I think deserves praise more than anything that we talk about for the rest of this card. It's CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Now, Justin, I think we can both agree that this is one of the most brutal matches I think I personally have ever seen, that you've ever seen. And it lived up to everything the feud was all about. It really was a blood feud to the end. Blood, real, actual blood, hate, animosity, tools were being used.
Toolboxes were being used.
I mean, Drew McIntyre has 16 staples now in his head. I mean, that's gotta hurt. But Justin, this is an all-time great match, man.
Yeah, it really was. And the one thing I absolutely hate about this match is that they put it first on the PLE card.
Yeah.
And the reason I hate it is because it started at 6 p.m. I left work at 6 p.m. So I'm here on a 2-hour trip going back home trying to watch it on my phone. But when I did get the chance to watch it, it was pure joy. This was the rivalry, the type of match for this rivalry that we needed. Never mind the regular one-on-one match. Screw the damn strap match. This was what we needed. A pure, brutal matchup that fits the rivalry of this magnitude. We saw tools being used, toolboxes being used, tables being thrown at. Drew McIntyre, literally, if y'all look on his Instagram, you see the actual scarring on the top of his head. These were real injuries. These are real situations involving two competitors who, I don't know if this is just in storyline or in real life, they do not mess with each other. And if you saw the way that they came out of this match, neither one of them are the same as when they went into it. and that's what makes it better. But now I want to see the real rivalry. I want CM Punk versus Seth freaking Rollins. Give me that next.
Damn right. Yeah, and at one of the things that I think the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view that was so, hated by fans, and it was hated for a reason, because the Hell in a Cell never felt special. It didn't feel special, right? And it wasn't until recently where Triple H took over where he made it very apparent that he wanted to make this match feel special again, to the point where you think about it, and the last Hell in a Cell match was at WrestleMania last year. Finn Balor versus Edge, a feud that deserved Hell in a Cell. Now, was the match as good as advertised?
That was a trash match.
I'll say this. I do think the match was affected by Finn Balor's cuts. I'll say that. I do think his cut was just so bad that they needed to tend to it right then and there. And because of that, the match took a hit. Right. The match itself,
concussion in that match.
Yeah. The match itself, I actually kind of liked the match. It wasn't what we expected it to be, unfortunately. But unlike that match, this CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre Hell in a Cell match was everything and more. And it's got me thinking, man, this is what Hell in a Cell used to be all about. And I hope going down the line, they really refrain from always using Hell in a Cell. If it's going to be a yearly thing, that's fine. We need it for the feud that has the most blood, the most, animosity, the most hate, the biggest rivalry to date. We cannot have this match just a regular match. Hell in a Cell was perfect.
No, I completely agree when it comes to that. But if you're going to save this as like an annual thing, leave it for Bad Blood. Like, leave it as the theme. Because it actually does work out as a system. You have War Games for Survivor Series. Great. Elimination Chamber has its own pay-per-view, but that's also because Elimination Chamber actually benefits whoever wins it, because it's kind of like the Royal Rumble. If you win it, you actually get a title match at WrestleMania, or you get the title, period. So if you want to save Hell in a Cell for like an annual thing, which I'm in complete agreement to doing, save it for Bad Blood, because this feels like the perfect PLE for it.
Right, and let's not oversaturate them either, right? I only want one Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, we only need one.
That's it. This match right here, spoilers to some, this match right here made the PLE. There was nothing that was gonna top that match. Nothing. Not Rock's return, not Jimmy Uso's return, not that tag team match, nothing definitely in between. Just absolute cinema from these two warriors. And now I guess my question is, where do these two guys go from here, right? Like it's really like the rivalry's over. Let's put that like straight. The rivalry's over. There's no more Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk for the foreseeable future. In my opinion, CM Punk, when he comes back, I think the journey to main event WrestleMania should start. And if it starts at the Royal Rumble, I personally wouldn't mind that. We have about 2 months to go. I would like to see him a little bit sooner, right? Have him come, do what he does best. Talk that talk, have some promo bottles, right? Do all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Cool. But I think the journey to WrestleMania should start, the main event of WrestleMania should start for CM Punk. As for Drew McIntyre, man, Drew McIntyre is untouchable right now. He really is. This is the best work of his career. And whatever he does at this point moving forward, I don't care. Like, if it's the Intercontinental Championship, I'm sold. If it's the World Heavyweight Championship, I'm sold. I don't care. I don't care what title he goes after. This guy is the real deal. And I hope he becomes world champion one day, because the work that he has done this year with CM Punk is hands down easily the best work he's ever done in his entire career. When we think about Drew McIntyre now, we are going to think of this CM Punk feud. And that's saying something. It's crazy because we cannot look at this Drew McIntyre CM Punk rivalry as one of the best rivalries ever. Easily. right? And the best part about it is these two didn't really do much the first 5-6 months of this rivalry.
No,
All they did was talk the talk, and it ended up working out into an amazing trilogy. Let me tell you, Justin.
No, you're absolutely right. It was like an amazing trilogy of matches. And as for what happens with each of them, like I said, with CM Punk, I want the Seth freaking Rollins rivalry. I think Seth is going to be sidetracked real quick because he has to take care of Bronson Reed. And then once that rivalry is done, then we're going to hopefully get the Seth freaking Rollins versus CM Punk rivalry that I desperately want. And I think where it's going to start is going to be in the Royal Rumble. Because can you imagine a situation where it's CM Punk and Seth Rollins as the last two in the Royal Rumble match, and then CM Punk eliminates Seth Rollins to win the Royal Rumble and cash in his ticket to main event WrestleMania? Then
and he needs to main event.
Then you got the feud with Seth Rollins and CM Punk leading into WrestleMania. That's how I could see this best being built long term.
Here's what I think. I think Seth Rollins should win the championship at some point from Gunther. I think Seth Rollins should be champion heading into SummerSlam once again. I know it's like, well, he was champion going into WrestleMania 40. Does he really need to be champion? This match screams WrestleMania. This screams main event of WrestleMania. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but you got to find a way to have CM Punk main event, because after what you just saw at Hell in a Cell, after what you just saw, he's undeniable. He is. So, quite frankly, man, I just think that, like, if after this CM Punk doesn't main event WrestleMania, it's an injustice, right? If you have to make a triple threat between The Rock, Roman, and Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, I will take that if you have to. But CM Punk needs to main event Seth with WrestleMania night one, at the very least.
Yes. And as for Drew McIntyre, I think he is going to be world championship material once again later on down the road. Is it going to be after the World Heavyweight Championship? Maybe. Is he going to get traded to SmackDown and go after the Universal Heavyweight Championship? That's also a possibility. I think right now you let him heal up for those scars and then put him in the IC title picture against Jey Uso. Because let's relive that old rivalry where I feel like he still hasn't gotten fully revenge for what he thinks Jey Uso did to him. And I think that we really need to see that rivalry too. And that would still also make some bomb matches for the later PLEs to come.
Right. And unfortunately, like I said before, Bad Blood really peaked with this match, because the next three matches that we are about to discuss, really a low point for PLEs throughout the entire year. Yeah. We'll try to be, I don't want to be quick. I want to make sure that my feelings about this PLE is like made. Nia Jax versus Bayley. We'll start with that. The match was fine. It wasn't a terrible match. It wasn't a good match. It was a fine match. I think it was entertaining at the very least. I saw Nia Jax do a freaking Hurricane Rana, or at least she tried to. That was super odd. It was like one of those matches where it's so bad it's good. So that's why I say we'll meet in the middle. It's fine. So
all that match did was tell me that the world wants Tiffany Stratton to win that women's championship, and they really want to beat Nia for it. Right,
and rightfully so. I think Tiffany Stratton at this point is undeniable. She's gonna be a babyface. She's gonna be a babyface down the line, and she's over. Let's call it what it is. She's one of the most over talents in all of WWE at this point, and she's what, 25, 24? Like,
she's not only over because, you know, her in-ring ability, her mic skills. She is one of the most popular superstars on social media also, because if you see her on TikTok and Instagram, she's like your regular person, which makes her relatable to everybody outside of here. She does her little day in the lives where she's traveling. She brings Kaiser in these things, which is amazing. and she's just over in all facets of what's important in WWE. So we said the same thing about Jey Uso when we said he was the most over person in WWE. At some point, you had to put gold around his waist. Same thing has to be said for Tiffany Stratton right now.
Right, and I think Nia Jax is the perfect heel champion to get it off her. But here's the thing about this match. It kind of felt like this match didn't belong. Does that make sense? Like it felt like for the Bad Blood PLE, right? Every single match that was in this PLE made sense for Bad Blood except for the Nia Jax Bayley match. So even with that match, it just didn't feel like it belonged, and it was pretty predictable. We all knew Nia Jax was going to retain. Not a single one of us thought to ourselves, "Oh, Bayley has a shot." Unfortunately, no, she didn't. And I'm cool with predictability if it's a predictability that I'm for. You know what I mean? But if it's a predictable, like, oh, well, Nia Jax is going to win because it makes sense. Can they put on a good match at the very least?
I'm going to tell you why it was so predictable and why this didn't feel like it didn't belong. Because all the other matches on the card were actual rivalries.
Right.
This wasn't a real rivalry. Yeah, this was two competitors going after a championship, and that's all this was. This didn't have the emotional connection like a Rhea and Liv had. This didn't have like the long-term booking like a Bloodline versus Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns had. This didn't have the pure hatred that a CM Punk and Drew McIntyre had. This was just two people going after a championship. This match was just drawn together because they needed to defend the women's the women's world championship for that reason.
Right. Right, and we'll go ahead and segue from that match because not much else to really talk about other than maybe Tiffany Stratton cashes in earlier than we might think because what's going on, eventually Tiffy time is coming. Like it might be happening in 2024. I thought maybe 2025 it would happen, but at this point it's becoming a bit undeniable. Next match, Justin, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it to you guys straight. This was hands down the most disappointing match in the entire card, and hands down to me the most disappointing match of the entire year. I'll say it. Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. This rivalry, this entire match fell so flat. And for them to only get 10 minutes on a PLE kind of just shows that I don't think Triple H is buying into Finn Balor as much as people think he would. Like, Finn Balor, let's call it what it is. Is he world champ material at this point? Because all he does is lose.
No, he's not.
No, he's not at all.
He's not. And the problem is that the fall off that is Finn Balor as a world title contender needs to be studied. The WWE 24 documentary eventually on this man's fall off is going to be iconic because this is somebody who if everybody remembers, is the very first Universal World Champion in WWE. He won that title. He was the inaugural holder, yes, only for 24 hours, but he still was the first person to win said title. And everybody, myself included, in the WWE Universe was behind it. But the problem is, one, he's not the best on the mic. Let's put it that way. Two, they can't build any rivalries with him. It's like outside of NXT, he can't build and be that main person in a rivalry, in a storyline. And then three, just there's way more talent that's basically shooting over him at this point.
But here's the problem with that, Justin, is that we've seen. I actually disagree with you here. We've seen him be able to carry himself in a rivalry with Seth Rollins. We saw it. We saw it last year. And maybe you weren't convinced, maybe you didn't buy it, but I did. I thought Finn Balor's story of 7 years not being, given the rematch that he deserved that story in general, his promos during that rivalry, it made me believe, hey, Finn Balor can be a world champion. He could, but they didn't pull the trigger. Now, I'm not mad that they didn't pull the trigger because Seth Rollins ended up having a fantastic reign anyway, and you saw what happened at WrestleMania. This all ended up working out. However, ever since that entire feud, well, nothing has happened with Finn Balor. Finn Balor has had nothing to do of substance at all. And you finally give Finn Balor something to do with Damian Priest, who at this point is one of the hottest baby faces in Raw right now. He is. You give him an opportunity, and throughout the entire feud, it feels like Finn Balor just did not step up. It felt like they limited this rivalry so much, and a part of that is because of the next match that we're going to discuss, but we'll get to that in a second. Finn Balor, there's no coming back. There is no coming back. I get it. You know, maybe they could try to turn this thing around. Maybe they could.
You need to lick your wounds for a little while.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's where I was going to go. How are we going to be? I get it. It's a main event player, right? But he beat you clean in 10 minutes, bro. You had the Judgment Day on your side. There is not. I'm sorry, Finn Balor being a world champion or a champion in general, slim to none. Slim to none. I just don't see it this year. I don't know if I even see it next year, man. I don't. And
here's what's gonna piss me off if they do this. Now, we went on this show last week, a couple weeks back, when we were leading up to Bad Blood, and we said after this, Dom needs to be put in the IC title picture because he is one of the most over heels on Raw, if not all of WWE right now. What will piss me off is if you overlook Dom and you try to insert Finn into that, because Finn and Jay recently have not been seeing eye to eye with the whole Rhea Ripley thing either. But that's not the rivalry we need to see. We need to see the two most over people go head to head. I want to hear yeets and I want to hear boos. Don't give me Finn Balor because that's just not going to fly.
Yeah, it's not going to fly because they haven't built it up to fly. Let's put it that way. Dominic Mysterio right now is as popular as a heel, though, because he's inserted in a feud that we thought didn't really need Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio was only there to amplify the feud, but now he's kind of in that feud a little bit too much.
Now he is the feud.
He is the feud at this point. You thought he was in a shark cage, which in with the benefit of hindsight, I think we all agreed with that the premise of that was pretty funny.
Yes. And I'm pretty sure we all gasped when he almost fell off of it.
Yeah, when he almost fell off, that was almost. I was actually kind of scared for his life. I'll be honest, but the point is this: why we're bringing up Dominic Mysterio is because Dominic Mysterio, after he turned heel, has outshined Finn Balor so much in a feud that he's not even. It's a women's world title feud we're talking about, and Dominic Mysterio is getting the biggest reaction, probably is getting a bigger reaction, in my opinion, than Liv Morgan.
Yep.
He is. And that's a problem. That's a problem because Liv Morgan's your champion. And then you go to Finn Balor, and Finn Balor is losing matches, right? Think about the build-up. I want you to picture this. Finn Balor, I believe, had one match, singles match against Rey Mysterio, and he lost that match via disqualification. There was no heat. This feud was so cold heading into it. No wonder it got only 10 minutes, bro. Unbelievable.
That was a theme in this PLE. Like, when we talk about both matches, like, there was no pops for either one of them.
Yeah, those two, that was a real low point in the show. You could have taken an hour-long piss and you would have missed absolutely nothing, man. It was awful. Not awful. Let me not be too harsh. It was so mid. It was like there was nothing interesting. going on there. And maybe it's because of the high we were at because of Punk McIntyre. But man, Justin, that was rough. Those two matches.
That's also a fault of WWE too,
right?
Because you should have placed Hell in a Cell later on. Yeah, if you didn't want to make it the main event because you wanted to focus on Roman Reigns returning, which his first singles competitive match since losing his Universal title, cool. Make it the one right before then. Make it a co-main event at that point. But this is what happens when you start with the biggest thing first. Like, you have everybody's adrenaline up and then it lulls them to sleep for the rest of the show. That's not good booking overall.
Not good booking whatsoever. And now we're going to go to another match that was unbelievably underwhelming as well. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. Now, I will say this. The match itself was actually cooking at first. It was a very solid match. And a part of me was thinking to myself, man, if only Dominic Mysterio was just not involved, bro. If only Dominic Mysterio was just not involved and we were just getting Liv Morgan and versus Rhea Ripley. Forget about freaking Dominic Mysterio. Forget about taking everything about Rhea. I understand in storyline it's why these two are feuding, but man, forget Dom. Okay, Dom can be your on-screen boyfriend. He cannot be the focal point of the damn feud. And in this match, after the shenanigans in the Shark Cage started, it all went downhill. All of it went downhill. All of it. And we'll start from the moment Raquel Rodriguez comes in. She botches her spot completely. Botches it. Terrible. To the point where the ref has to act like she isn't even there. Right? And then Raquel attacks Rhea Ripley, tosses her in the ring. The ref's now nowhere in sight because what's the ref going to do? I don't know if the bell rang, Justin. I don't know if you can remember.
It did. I'll talk about it. I'll let you say your piece and then I'll talk about it.
Yeah. The bell rang, right? So the match is over. She throws Rhea Ripley in the ring, hits her finisher, and Liv, who is unconscious at this point, who's out, she puts Liv on top of Rhea Ripley. And no count happens. Nothing happens. You want to talk about embarrassing? This is the women's world title we're talking about here. Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley were supposed to have one of the best feuds for the women's title of the entire year. And for it to fall flat like this on Bad Blood, I'll be honest, I wish Rhea Ripley won this match so that we don't have to see these two. Because once Rhea Ripley wins, because Rhea Ripley's going to win the title. She's going to win the title back from Liv Morgan. She is.
Yep.
I don't know if it's going to be at Royal Rumble. I don't know if it's going to be at Survivor Series. I don't know where it's going to be at. But they're not going to have Liv Morgan lose 3 times in a row. Technically, Rhea Ripley won via disqualification, which I hope they don't use as an excuse for, Rhea Ripley won last time, so we're going to have Liv Morgan beat her now. Enough.
I'm sorry to tell you that is the excuse they gave on Raw.
Enough, man.
All right, let me
go ahead, Justin.
Let me color in the remaining parts that you may have missed in this match with that botch, and I really mean botch by Raquel Rodriguez. So the way that it should have been set up, the way it looks like it was supposed to be set up, it's supposed to be Rhea beats Dom like a piñata, and then she eventually goes into the ring. Raquel goes into the ring, jumps her, gives her a Tejana bomb, then makes Liv cover her 1, 2, 3. That is it. What happened in the match is that Raquel went too early and attacked Rhea while she was still outside the ring in front of the ref. Now, the referees have producers in their ears. They have to also make decisions on the fly. So the referee then did what the referee is supposed to do and disqualified Liv Morgan and ended the match. That's why you see that kind of confusion when she actually puts Liv on top of Rhea, because the match was technically already over.
It was over.
It was over at that point. So the fact that it was over and she still put Liv on Rhea tells me that she went too early, that she was supposed to do this later on in the match. So yes, it was a huge botch at all. That I'm not even gonna give that any kind of excuse. Fast forward into Raw, they talked about it, that yeah, she got disqualified, whatever, but she still won. And then Rhea brought it up that she technically won by disqualification, so she should get another chance at the title. Thus, we will likely at some point in the near future get another Liv versus Rhea match. And I think this is going to be straight up Rhea just taking it.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want because I'm sick of this feud. I'll be honest. I'm sick of Liv as champion. I'm sick of Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. This
and
feud,
you're not alone in that.
I hope I'm not. I hope I'm not because this entire feud at first felt so special. It felt like they were doing something very interesting, right? Yeah. And when Liv Morgan kissed Dominic Mysterio, after that point, it's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, right? And the Raw after SummerSlam, phenomenal. It felt like after that, it was a steady decline. A steady decline of the entire feud in general. And lo and behold, we're about to hit Survivor Series very soon.
Yep.
And I can't help but think this has got to be the spot where Rhea Ripley wins the title. I don't want it any later. I don't want Liv Morgan as champion anymore. She cannot have over 200 days as champ. Be over 200 days as champ. She's not very believable with her being over 200 days as champ. The way they booked her, she can't be over 200 days as champ.
And here's the thing, though. Us being so drained and tired from this rivalry, it takes away from a lot of the improvements of in-ring ability that Liv has been putting on.
Facts. There you go. Yep.
Because she's added new moves in her repertoire. That dang reversal that she has, that she turns into like this crucifix, almost power bomb like.
Yep.
That is awesome.
But
the fact that the rivalry is so dull at this point, it takes away from how much she has improved as an in-ring competitor, which is sad because we should be saying that that's the improvement.
They have phenomenal chemistry. Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley have. They have phenomenal chemistry, and it's a shame that look, Dominic Mysterio. I want to reiterate, he's fantastic. Like he is a bright spot of Monday Night Raw every single time. But I'm tired of him being in these feuds with Rhea Ripley, with Liv Morgan. Bro, he is not in the women's division. Let the women's division do something, bro. Let Dominic Mysterio be his own guy. Let him roam with the guys, man. That's why a part of me is actually thankful, very thankful that Raquel Rodriguez is back and is teaming up with Liv Morgan. But another part of me is kind of like this entire debut or return of Raquel Rodriguez. It was completely botched, and it only lessened the interest for this feud of Rhea Ripley Liv Morgan feud. As good as Raquel Rodriguez is, I'm glad she's a heel. But man, like there was a lot of meat on the bone after SummerSlam, and it feels like they just completely overcooked this chicken, and I don't want any part of it. I am done, Justin. I'm done with it. Straight up.
No, you and I both. Like, I don't want to hear about these two unless it's time for Rhea to take back the title. And that is it. I don't want no more love story, love triangle BS. We've had it. We've had enough matches of it. But that's where the lulls of the championship, of these matches at Bad Blood go. So, guys, I'm sorry we've been boring you with that, but it's going to slowly start turning up, as did the PLE.
Yeah, and here we go. Let's go into the main event finally.
Wait, before we go into the main event, can we talk about this damn Crown Jewel Championship?
Oh, thank you so much, Justin. I'm thank you so much. I almost forgot about that, Justin. Thank you so much. I don't know why I was so. Let me tell you what happened, Justin. I was so pissed off from talking about Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley. I wanted to go straight into Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, because that's actually good stuff that I wanted to digest. But now we got to talk about something else that doesn't make sense. The Crown Jewel Championship that was announced by Triple H. Someone discussed this. I think it was Brandon Does Everything, and he put it perfectly. This is like a Vince McMahon move in the Triple H era. Why? What is this for? This is a pointless championship. It's pointless. And now we're going to have Gunther and Cody fight it out and duke it out as if this championship is supposed to matter. When in
as
all
if we don't
reality,
know what's the more important championship.
That's what I'm saying. This is like Braun Strowman winning the greatest Royal Rumble. Who the hell cares? Who the hell cares?
I'm going to tell you, because I did a short on this. I spoke about this already. But one thing I didn't mention is that what they basically did was that they took the annual champion versus champion match that typically goes on Survivor Series and basically moved it to Crown Jewel and then just put a random title here. And I said this in my initial video. There was no point in having this because you have a title that is only going to be defended once a year, and not even defended because you don't even know if you're going to have the same champion next year, but you're going to have it defended once a year by only 4 people that can compete, 2 in the men's division, 2 in the women's division. That is it. What is the point? And the point really is, it's a money grab. Listen, Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia every year, and I hate to say it, it's just a pure money move. They take all the best superstars they can, throw them in a random PLE to make the most amount of money and to have the biggest reach of an international fan base as they can, which is okay in terms of expansion. But don't ruin your core product over it.
Right, but at the very least, Crown Jewel last year had some interesting matches, right? Like Crown Jewel had some matches that meant something, right? Roman Reigns versus
Roman Reigns.
Like that. Like I could think of like when Triple H took over. Like these Saudi Arabia shows started getting better. They did. We are far from the Vince McMahon era of Saudi Arabia shows that were terrible that you want to like gouge your eyes out for.
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking about matches like Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns. You said it, right? We had Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the World Heavyweight Championship, right? We had a tag team championship main event match between Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa. We had the match quality and the watchability of these PLEs got so much better. And now, all of a sudden, instead of trying to build something for Crown Jewel, they're making this a filler PLE. You don't want to know something, Justin?
What's that?
Cody versus Gunther could be reserved for a match so much more important than this one.
Yeah,
but
WrestleMania.
But we're getting
that's a WrestleMania match.
But we're getting it at Crown Jewel for a worthless championship. And the same thing with Liv Morgan and Nia Jax. What? What?
I don't understand this whatsoever. Like, if you just put it champion versus champion. That's it.
Just make it champion. If you really want this to be a champion thing, just do it like that. But even then, man, I really hope they throw LA Knight on this card, right? For Crown Jewel. I want LA Knight versus Melo versus Andrade. I need that because quite frankly, this PLE I'm already not excited for because 2 matches are already confirmed at this point with Liv Morgan and Nia Jax, Cody Rhodes and Gunther. And it's utterly unbelievable how like this move is actually happening. Like this was supposedly a crazy announcement that they had for us in the Bad Blood PLE.
They overhyped it.
Yeah. The only highlight, I will say, the highlight of this entire segment though was Goldberg and Gunther.
I wanted Goldberg's son to like just jump in there. Because if y'all don't know, Goldberg's son plays linebacker for the University of Colorado. So I was hoping for like a tackle.
I was, but I think they want to look. Gunther versus Goldberg, bro. A part of me thinks that would 1000% like that match would bang. I don't know. I don't know. No, look, I'm not talking about like obviously Prime Goldberg.
Prime Goldberg, yes.
Prime Goldberg versus Gunther. That match would bang. Now Goldberg, please get off my screen. Like I don't want to see it. But
now your son, have him train for a little while. I would love to see him.
I would see that. I'll see that. Okay, but man, you know what? It would be a phenomenal 3 minutes. I think Gunther will find a way to make those 3 minutes 1000%. He was cooking Goldberg here, bro. He was
roasting.
He was burying Goldberg completely, man. And that was the highlight of that segment, because crown jewel, that championship, means absolutely nothing. I almost don't want to cover that PLE with how disgusted I am with that championship, but
well, we're gonna have to.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Anyway, next up, finally, some good. The Rock is back, ladies and gentlemen. He is back, and he returned at the end of this main event tag team match between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes against Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Tag team match was pretty good. It was good. It was a good tag team match, you know. The hot tag with Roman.
Hold on. You're not giving it its due justice. You're going based on the match itself. Understand the level, and this is why I missed having Roman Reigns in the ring. The level of shit talking that
absolutely.
At one point, you had Solo beating the hell out of Roman, saying "Tribal Chief, my ass," and then he was like, "Who's the real Tribal Chief?" And then you heard a little kid in the audience scream, "Not you," which made it so much more better. You had him talking shit. You had Cody talking shit. Roman, you already know was going to talk his shit no matter what. The one part I was holding my breath with was when Cody Rhodes went to the top turnbuckle to jump onto Jacob Fatu, who was on the announce table, because I had flashbacks of Jacob doing the same thing.
Yeah, and I was like, is Cody actually going to do this? Like, is Cody really going to do this? And he did it, and I'm just like, this is our champion. This is our champion, bro. He's our champion.
That's the Cody Rhodes we missed.
This is Cody. Like, no, but this is Cody that, if Cody's going to take these risks every PLE, bro, give me that Cody. Okay, and by the way, Cody Rhodes has been, you know, I know a lot of people flack his storyline as a champion. He's been a great champion, and his storylines right now are starting to finally gain some traction that we find with Kevin Owens, with Randy Orton, with the blood, even with Roman Reigns. Like, this is finally the reign that we've been waiting for Cody Rhodes. Obviously, the AJ Styles feud was pretty nice. There was a little bit of a gray area after that, but let me tell you, man. I feel like we're finally getting some great stuff from Cody Rhodes as champion. The match is great. Let me not be mean. The match is great. It was great. I just think that, you know, you want to know what it is. I was still thinking, man, but this ain't Punk McIntyre, bro. Like, that match set such a high standard of professional wrestling, and it's like calling that match fantastic, amazing. I can't just call any match after that great, right? I'll call it great because Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu. Really, the only person who didn't really shine is Solo Sikoa, but Solo Sikoa did an all right job as well. But Roman Reigns ended up picking up the win after a distraction from Jimmy Uso. Mm-hmm. Welcome back, my Us. Finally, Jimmy Uso is
great
back.
New gear saying they're not the ones.
That's fantastic. I love that from Jimmy Uso. Finally, a babyface once again with Roman Reigns. And I think that relationship with Jimmy Uso and Roman Reigns, man, it was so satisfying seeing them hugging and seeing them back in good terms again, bro. Because it had been, like, remember, Jimmy Uso and Roman Reigns, yeah, they were together, but it was more out of fear. Yep. This felt out of love, man. This felt
it was also funny seeing Jimmy hold Roman accountable, because he was like, you gave him your word, so we out. When Cody was getting jumped after the match, he's like, I got you, but you gave him your word, so we got to go.
Yeah, I love that. And And it just created. This is what the Bloodline's all about. This is what the Bloodline has been doing for years at this point. Cinema after cinema after cinema. And I'm glad these new characters like Tama Tonga, like Jacob Fatu are finally getting some great shots. Tama Tonga is getting a bit over, man. Like, I don't know if you saw that ladder match, man. Yeah. Everybody's kind of getting into it, man. Everybody kind of likes that stuff, man.
Now, Tongaloa, I need you to step up.
No, Tongaloa is not going to do a damn thing, Justin. Like, come on now. He's not going to do it.
Y'all are now known as the Tongas. Now you got an official team name. I need y'all to step up.
The Tongans, bro.
Oh, Tongans. I'm sorry. Listen, when you got one person that's starting to get over and somebody who's completely irrelevant, I need y'all both to be up here before I start taking you serious.
Yeah, that's facts, bro. But finally, we get The Rock. The Rock is freaking back, Justin.
Yes, he is.
Damn right. And I think it was the perfect time to do it. I thought, the fact that he just came out with his awesome new theme music. He comes out, he just stares at him. He gives him the eyebrow. It's just silence, right? He then goes 1, 2, 3. Then he does this. And this music plays. The Rock is so funny, bro. Like, I don't know what he does. He's hilarious, man. He really is, man.
But the thing is, who was that toward?
That's what I was about to ask
That's the
you,
question.
Justin.
See, because I saw him go 1, 2, 3, and then I also saw him put his hand towards his neck, which to me seems like that went to Roman Reigns, as in, you got pinned. You are no longer the tribal chief. But it can also go to Cody Rhodes, because The Rock did say, when I come back, our story is not over. And The Rock wants that undisputed championship on his mantle. So that's the main storyline of who was that message toward?
Man, I'm thinking, and this is why I think that triple threat at WrestleMania is definitely a real possibility, man. It's a real possibility. I know. It's like, oh man, but we want Rock versus Roman. Man, at this point, Cody Rhodes is so ingrained in this storyline. Right?
He can't escape.
He needs a main event, because Punk cannot not main event WrestleMania, okay? You can't have him pull off this amazing feud, because the plan was going to be Punk Rollins WrestleMania Night 1 and Cody Roman WrestleMania Night 2. That was the plan.
Yep.
That was the actual
plan. That got sidelined.
Then that got sidelined because Punk got hurt, and then The Rock came back, and everything started to kind of shift.
Yep.
But now, 2025, Punk and Rollins have to main event Night 1. Night 2, I get it. It's in Las Vegas. Everybody wants Rock versus Roman. But man, I don't know, man. I think you might have to make this triple threat happen.
Well, if The Rock wants it to happen, The Rock will make it happen.
Man, I don't know, man. I don't want Punk to not main event. That's the thing. Punk needs to main event.
He's going to main event. He's just going to main event Night 1.
But Justin, let me tell you something about The Rock, bro. Let me tell you something about this damn Rock, bro. This man almost got himself into the main event of WrestleMania.
Yep.
He almost got... Cody Rhodes was literally not going to do anything at WrestleMania.
Yep.
There was a chance they had no plans for him.
Yep.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
That's ridiculous. That's The Rock's power, bro. If he can do that, I can't imagine what he'd do to somebody like CM Punk, bro.
One hand tied behind the back.
That's just, man. I really hope The Rock understands CM Punk needs to main event Night 1. I hate that. I hope Triple H realizes that too. But
listen, you got to put the business hat on. You got to look at it from TKO's perspective. TKO knows eyeballs equals money. So guess what? CM Punk is main event in WrestleMania because that's eyeballs and that's money in your pocket.
Right, but Cody Rhodes is also, man. What if? Oh my God, I'm praying to the heavens. Lord, give us CM Punk Cody Rhodes night one. I don't care. I will take CM Punk Cody Rhodes at night one, and then Rock and Roman can main event night two for all I care. I don't know how that would be able to happen, but
no, it's gonna be CM Punk Seth Rollins night one.
Yeah,
and then Cody versus whoever night two.
Yeah, but Rock and Roman, if Rock and Roman wants it to happen, if they want,
if it's their will, it'll happen.
Yeah, we'll see. But this, I'll say the overall review of Bad Blood. This was, in my opinion, so close to being the worst PLE of the year. Had it not been for the main event and CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, I think this PLE would have gone straight to the dumpster fire and would have been regarded as one of the worst PLE. It's already one of the worst PLEs of the Triple H era.
Yep.
But CM Punk and Drew McIntyre elevated that PLE way more than it should have. And I'll say that that match saved the night, man. And it should have main evented, Justin.
I'm trying to look at the list of PLEs we've had at what we originally thought was like the worst PLE so far. Was it Money in the Bank that we said?
Money in the Bank wasn't terrible, man. It wasn't because I think Money in the Bank like it sucks that we don't have a men's Money in the Bank holder.
Yeah,
but if we don't, if let's say Jey Uso wins Money in the Bank, does he get that moment at Monday Night Raw against Braun Breaker? Does he get that moment?
True.
What if like I think that's why in my opinion the only person who kind of got lowballed is Chad Gable, but at the same,
Crown Jewel's our next PLE.
Oh, it is our next PLE. Yeah,
November 2nd. Jesus.
That's gonna be terrible. Not terrible.
I apologize ahead of time.
Yeah, let's be optimistic. The matches are gonna cook at the very least. The matches have never been bad in a Triple H PLE. The matches have never been bad.
As we talk about two very bad matches.
Yeah, I mean, but to be fair, Damian Priest versus Finn Balor wasn't a bad match. It just had nothing going for it, right?
True. I think it was also kind of rushed, which also leads us to one of our next topics that we have to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and jump right into it because I have a lot of worries now for Monday Night Raw. Because Justin, you and I saw so much commercials. I don't even think I saw a show. I saw ads. I was on YouTube. I might as well be on YouTube. The amount of ads that I was getting during the matches, and they were cooking. If you went through picture in picture and you decided, okay, forget this ad, let me just watch the match, right? You'd be like, oh my God, these guys are cooking. And now that we have 2 hours, it seems like they doubled the commercials, which for the life of me doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. But man, Justin, man, I'm going to tell you,
it's the same amount of commercials as when they were a 3-hour show. But the problem is now that we're down to 2 hours, they are still trying to cram the same amount of commercials in there because commercials is money. They have those deals with the networks already before the change happened. So they have to honor those commitments. So guys, until Raw goes on Netflix in 2025, get ready because the next 2 months of WWE Raw is going to be just like this. It's going to be a crap load of picture-in-picture with 2 minutes of advertising in it, and then we're all going to be sick of it, but we're going to just hold out because once it hits Netflix, all shit hits the fan. Everybody can do what they want now.
Man, it's Oh my God, bro. Like, I'm thinking about it now, Justin. It's like we have 2 months of this, bro. We have 3 months of this garbage. 3 months. October, November, December. I really hope that they somehow manage to pace. They manage to pace their booking a little bit better.
You're
Right?
right.
Like
We
pace
have 12 Raws left of that.
That's 12 stinky episodes of Raw. Look how they pace. But they can do these. They can do good 2-hour shows. We've seen it on SmackDown. We've seen it on NXT. We've seen it. So this past Raw was no excuse. No excuse. We got now, granted, like we got 2 great matches. We got the Donnybrook match with Sheamus and Pete Dunne. That was fantastic. We got Gunther versus Sammy. They had 10 minutes to cook. And they made it work.
And
they cooked. But my problem was Jey Uso versus Xavier Woods being like, what, 5 minutes?
That one got rushed.
That one was so... They had Natalya to get, like, to paint a picture of how badly rushed this show was. Natalya's entrance music hits, right? They sent out all of the women. They sent out everybody. Lyra Valkyria.
I mean, for a 5-on-5 match, you're not going to waste 20 minutes trying to get everybody's entrance music.
I get that. I do. But then my question would be, why is this match happening then? What is this match for?
I have no idea why that match was even booked. I didn't even know Natalya was supposed to be on Raw.
Yeah, neither did I. I know the women's mid card is very underutilized because you have Lyra Valkyria in there. Io Sky is freaking in there. You have, Zelina Vega is in there, right? I don't care about PFC. They can kick rocks. You have some good not main event. You have some great mid card women in there. Io Sky might as well be main event, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yep.
To cook up some nice feuds, and I'm sorry, not happening. And oh my gosh, man, it's so frustrating. So frustrating, man.
It's okay. It's an adjustment period, and I think by next week's Raw we should be fine. I think they'll sort out the commercial. I
cannot do that amount of commercials, man. I cannot do
I think they'll sort everything out by next week. That shouldn't be a big problem. The big problem is you have a ton of storylines that you may want to get through, but you got to learn how to adjust that to the time because you can't have 10-minute matches.
Yeah, 10-minute matches is ridiculous. Like, no matter what. If Melo and Andrade can cook for 15 to 20 minutes on an episode of SmackDown, you can let Xavier Woods versus Jey Uso go for 10, 15 minutes, bro. And have the last 30 minutes dedicate that to Sami Zayn versus Gunther.
20 minutes if we're finally getting the heel turn. I'll give you 20 minutes with Xavier Woods to get the heel turn.
I will take 30 minutes of Sami Zayn versus Gunther over anything that has to do with Karrion Kross and The Miz, anything that has to do with PFC, anything that has to do with those guys. I don't want it. Just give me.
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to take time away from The Miz because it looks like the Wyatt Six is going after Miz. Come on.
I am not very moved by that, I'll be honest. I love the Wyatt Six. I love the Wyatt Six, man. I love the Wyatt Six.
I'll take any excuse for the Wyatt Six to compete.
Man, The Miz, though, bro, in 2024, Justin. Let me not disrespect this.
Because if it's Miz plus Karrion Kross and AOP versus
what are those guys teaming?
I will take it. I don't care.
I do, and I don't understand why Karrion Kross, The Miz, and AOP are together right now. Like, what is going on, bro?
Listen, we didn't understand the meaning behind the Wyatt Six and American Made, but guess what? It worked.
But the difference with that is because American Made is a faction that actually American Made has the Creed brothers Ivy Nile and Chad Gable. What in the blue hell do Karrion Kross and The Miz have in common? What in the world?
Listen, I don't know. I just look for any excuse for the Wyatt Six to compete.
Look, the Wyatt Six on my TV is an automatic like, but pairing them with The Miz and Karrion Kross, I'm not gonna say I'll pass because I'll put my butt in the seat and I'll watch the Wyatt Six. But bro, that's all they have for the Wyatt Six, man.
Well, you can't necessarily put them in any kind of championship.
That's true. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. And I understand why The Miz, because The Miz turned on R-Truth. I hope their next target's Xavier Woods, because Xavier Woods.
That's another one. That was one that I thought was gonna happen.
Man. 2-hour Raws. Man, I haven't seen the 2-hour Raw. That 2 hours, those 2 hours on Monday they felt so weird, man. So rushed. I hope Triple H can find a way to organize and make sure that whatever kind of mess that happened on Monday Night Raw this past Monday does not end up happening again. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Fight Pit WWE here at House Call Sports. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and let us know what you guys think of Bad Blood, the Raw moving to 2 hours, The Rock, everything. Let us know what you guys think. Follow us on all social media platforms. That's Instagram, X, TikTok, Facebook, wherever you have social media. Follow us at the House Call Sports. Thank you guys so much for watching, and that's going to be it for us. Peace.